Okay, so tonight we're playing some Dungeon Crawl Classics, running a small adventure by Tim Shorts called Temple of Putrescence. I'll see how many times I can say that correctly. With my single player, we're trying something out. I had this this thought that many of the Appendix N kind of stories are kind of a hero and their sidekick or two heroes. So I wanted to start running things with smaller parties. So in this case, a single player with two PCs, and we'll see how this goes. I am adding one extra mechanic we're testing out that I will call Fortune. It's basically can be used as luck, and it is based on the total number of levels that are involved. So in this case, 5. But it can also be used for to retrieve bits of information that your sidekick might know. So it's tough when you're a single player to sometimes the obvious goes past you. So if Tony wants to say his sidekick knows something or wonders what his sidekick knows about something without any rolls, he can use usually 2 points of the fortune to get a hint or a clue or something like that. So we'll see how that plays out, and we'll go at it. So the story starts about a week ago. You guys were reveling and having fun in the local town after some serious adventuring. Maybe a little too much, because you woke up in a room surrounded by men dressed in dark clothes with clear symbols of the leader, who steps forward with a cloak around his neck. The guild leader of the local thieves guild. Seems the guild leader has volunteered you for a mission. He wants you to recover a ancient sword, the sword of Kasuth. I'll write that in the chat. This sword is in a fortress / temple. Few days ride. Seems like a fair enough mission, but you probably would not have taken it had not been for the threat of the poison that's in your blood now that will kill you in about 10 days if you do not return with the sword, because this site is known to be cursed and people stay away from it as much as possible. So Tony, what would have brought the Thieves Guild notice of your characters? What kind of deed did you do? Do you think that they kind of thought you'd be great for this? And you can intro your characters.
Yeah, we'll start with Bill, the halfling. He's dressed pretty much like his little photo. He's always dresses very dapper looking. He's a younger halfling, and he parts his hair down the middle and to each side. And he's a master at the short swords. And probably the reason that the Thieves Guild come to him is for his just no-nonsense approach. And knowing that he's got this poison that's running through his veins, he's not worried about it. I mean, he knows that, hey, I can either go out and do this and succeed or not. It doesn't really matter to him. He's just a happy-go-lucky guy. And his sidekick is Bob, the warrior. Bob is pretty much average in everything, but he just, his thoughts right now are why the Thieves, he doesn't really know why the Thieves Guild picked him. He has his talents, of course, of being a warrior and all, but he just, he feels like maybe it was a mistaken identity, but they picked the wrong person for this. So he's pretty nervous about doing this and about what may happen if it doesn't succeed.
Excellent. So, that was, again, about a week ago. Now, on your journey, you've traveled 3 days, and you're kind of you've been traveling along the coastline for the most part. It's a very rocky and hilly coastline. Oftentimes, it's just the cliffs of the inland and a tight beach among you before the sea. But as you come up and you've been climbing a kind of a ridge, you see out in front of you about an hour or more journey by foot, because your horses probably are not going to be able to go up that direction. You see actually this pillar rising about 500 feet off out of the sea. And on top of the pillar is this ancient fortress. There is a land bridge. Looks like it's probably natural, unnatural, if you will, connecting. So as you climb the ridge to the top, you look out across this bridge that is going to have you. It's not too narrow. It's probably about maybe 15, 20 feet wide, so you're not too worried probably. But you'll need to walk out about maybe like 200 feet or so to get to the main kind of island, if you will, in the air as you look out there.
Yeah, Bob, of course, he being the warrior, he starts going forward, and Bill runs up and grabs his arm, and he goes, "No, this is probably something I need to start out and make sure you don't fall through anything. Just let me go first." So Bill is going to lead the way about 20 feet ahead of Bob.
Okay. Yeah, and you're walking. I mean, it feels pretty, sturdy. It feels very ancient, and you definitely suspect, though you're not either one of you really spellcaster types, you definitely suspect magic was used in the formation of this bridge because it's otherwise it's just very, very convenient that it happens to be here. But as you're walking out, you get about maybe 3/4 of the way across, and you get a better view of this fortress. Now it's a single story fortress. It's not too huge, but it does take up most of the pillar. And most notably, in front of you, maybe starting at about 20 feet, and then seeming to fill the ground all the ways up to the building, you see a whole bunch of warriors, soldiers. Look like maybe they're dead. You think at first, but then as you kind of study them for a second, you can see that while they're lying on the ground for the most part, you can see them moving a little bit. Like some of them are kind of like moving their lips with no real words coming out, and some are kind of like reaching with their hands a little bit, or trying to like roll over, and they're not making much progress there. They're just kind of scattered all over the ground, about 20 feet in front of you.
Yeah, Bill puts his hand up to stop Bob, to not get right on top of him, and he's going to really squint and look, and he's trying to look to see if they appear to be like this just occurred recently to them, or if it's they've been there for some while. Does he still see? Do they still have their skin and their flesh?
Yeah, you look. You're taking your time because they're not coming towards you, so you have plenty of time to look. You notice a couple of things. One is that the armor looks like no armor you've ever seen before. It looks very old. Some of it, the metal parts of it and stuff are rusted. Even as they lay there, some of the swords that you see scattered upon the ground are rusted. You see what looks like they may have been bows, but like the wood is disintegrated. And as you kind of study some of their faces and hands, you see they do have their flesh, but it's like tight to their skin, like they're emaciated.
Yeah, Bill will motion for Bob to come on up, and as Bob gets there, he just looks at him and goes, "Well, I wonder if these fellows were sent out by the guild a long time ago, and I guess they didn't make it back, so it's our turn now." And as Bob, starts looking at what they have, he's like, "Well, we should be okay if they don't start getting up off the ground. But if they get up off the ground, you let me take care of what I can do."
Yeah, I mean, you notice. I mean, if you were to, you can't really count them unless you want to spend a long time to do it. But there's well over 100 soldiers here. It almost looks like they were like marching out of the fortress, maybe, or towards the fortress. It's hard to say. And like in ranks, that's how close together they are. But now they're kind of scattered. You can certainly try to walk through them without stepping on any of them, if you'd like.
Yeah, and actually, Bill leads the way again. He's not really doing it daintily. He's trying not to step on them, but he's going kind of hurriedly. And Bob is more of the taking his time.
Okay. Yeah, it's not too difficult to walk through. Maybe just do just like a DC 10 agility to not trip over or kick any of them, or just kind of get through your characters.
A 19 for Bill and a 13 for Bob.
Right. Yeah. So you're able to make your way through. I mean, you're taking your time. You're not really rushing at all. So you're able to do that. Let me see if I can. I'm going to show you kind of the. We'll see if this actually shows up. Oh, I don't want to do that. If I go here. All right. So this is basically, you can see that, right? This is you're coming from over here. Oh, I guess you can't see mine because I'm not screen sharing. You're coming from the left hand side of the screen.
Yeah, where the road leads on out. Okay.
Exactly, and all that like blue around it is the sea about 500 feet below you. You can see there's a building in front of you. So if you were to look like if you were to follow the road straight, you can see that the building is there. You can see a door. If you were to that section that's below, on the screen. So on the below the building, all that green there, that's Moorfield. That's all covered with bodies. So everywhere that you look is covered with bodies on the outside.
Yeah, Bill's he doesn't want to deal with these bodies unless they have to. It's kind of making his stomach even queasier, and he puts it all to that poison at first. But so he's going to just take the direct approach and go up to the first building that's close to him to see if there's an easy way to get in.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely can do that. So you approach. Actually, I'll get up the one that has the numbers on it, so I know what's what. Yeah, so you approach the building. You see there's a wooden door there. Let's see if I can get a description here. It's actually not a door. It's an iron gate. It's very old and rusted. You even see parts of it kind of crumbling. It is it's not like a portcullis where you lift it. It's like a swingy gate, and it is actually open. And you kind of peer, inside as best you can, and it's pretty dark inside, almost unnaturally dark, considering that there's a door right here. But you're looking in. You see a few bodies in there, though, like right near the initial 10 feet or so of the room. You can see that there's more of these bodies in here. Some of them are the armored men that you saw, and some you see are actually women. Their bodies are basically exposed to you because whatever maybe clothes they had worn had rotted away. So they're you see their naked bodies, and you can see the skin is just like they're basically skeletal. It's right up against their bodies, almost so much that it's like they're like shrunken almost. And just like the soldiers and stuff outside, you see that. You see that they seem to be moving a little bit or trying to move, like their eyes and stuff are moving, but they don't seem to have any real ability to do so. And amongst that, you also see some rats in the same state. And yeah, that's all you can see from there. You're looking in about the first 10 feet or so of the room. The room is about, we'll say, about 40 by 40. So you're just seeing like the entrance area.
Yeah, Bill continues forward. He doesn't think anything about it, but as Bob gets up to the gate, Bob's just going to take a quick moment to look around the gate to make sure he's worried about once he enters about it closing behind him and locking them in. So he's going to look around to make sure there's no kind of mechanism on it that would do that.
Okay, yeah. So you look in. The gate doesn't have any kind of mechanical controls. It looks like it was probably like lifted by hand, and when you just kind of lift it to see how it moves, like parts of it just kind of fall off. Like you think that even if the gate was closed, you could pretty easily like push your way through it because it's mostly rotted away.
Yeah, he just kind of harumphs to himself as he moves along to catch up with Bill, then who's not paying attention to what's going on back there.
Okay, so as Bill kind of walks in a bit, and while Bob's checking everything, he actually notices kind of a glow coming from about maybe 20 feet in. And as you kind of move towards it a little bit, you see that there is another body that looks different than the rest. He's wearing some kind of chain armor, you suspect, although most of it looks like it's been melted. The side of him is burnt, and he appears to be dead because you can actually smell a little bit of the rot on him. And in his hand, or near his hand, is a short sword that is glowing with a faint blue light, shedding light about 5 feet away.
Yeah, Bill will approach and get down on his knees, and he's going to take one of his short swords and just kind of pry around the body and make sure it's not any type of trap or any type of thing that happens when he touches the body.
Okay, yeah. So you get close, and you can actually see as you do that, like it's almost like part of his body, the part that's like melted and burnt, is almost melted into the ground a little bit. So you have to almost maybe cut a little bit to get to lift him all the way. But nothing seems to be, mechanical or a trap or anything. It looks more like, the man just melted and died here somehow. You do see near him too, as you're doing this, you see a backpack. The straps had melted off and the pack fell to the ground. It's bulging with some stuff inside of it, but it gets closed.
Yeah, Bill looks towards Bob and says, "You check the backpack. I'm going to grab this sword. If he rises up, though, you take care of him." So Bill's going to reach and try to grab the sword away from him.
Okay, yeah. So you go to where the sword is. It's kind of like he probably, by the way you can see he's laying, he probably had it in his hand, but when he fell, he let go. So he's not actually touching it, nor is anything else. So you can scoop it right up if you'd like. It feels like a really well-made short sword. It is glowing. It's shedding light in about a 5-foot radius, so it's not glowing tremendously bright, but as bright as, let's say, a candle. And it's the glowing is of the entire length of the blade. The handle is finely crafted with a leather pommel, and it feels really well balanced. It feels like a nice sword, actually.
And it's a short sword?
It's a short sword, yep.
Yeah, Bill will keep it, and he'll sheath one of his short swords and replace it with that one then.
Okay. Yeah, this one doesn't have a sheath because as you kind of look around, you see that side of his body that melted, that's where the sheath was, probably because it's, from where he had the sword in his hand.
And Bob will start opening the backpack to see what's in there.
Okay. Yeah, so Bob approaches the backpack, and it's like, it's a standard, the back flips over to cover it, so he has to untie it a little bit and open it up. And when he does, maybe you dump the contents on the ground, you find some kind of typical supplies. You see 4 iron spikes, a hammer, not like a war hammer, but like hammered upon the spikes,
right?
A tinder box, and 6 torches. You see some iron rations, and even though they're iron rations, which last for a long time, you can see they're moldy. So he's been here for a while, though clearly not as long as the other bodies. And also there is a vial of liquid, of clear liquid.
A vial of liquid, okay.
Yeah, clear liquid. And if you were to pick it up, you actually see that it's got a seal on it from one of the a known church. So basically, it's holy water.
Yeah, he'll put all that stuff over. He'll leave the rations, though, but he'll take all that other stuff and put into his backpack then.
Okay, yeah, you can do it. Okay, put it in the check just in case. Let's see. Also, some change falls out. 3 silver pieces and 11 copper.
He'll scoop that up, and as he does, though, he shows it towards Bill and says, "We'll split it up later now."
I wrote 2, but it's 3 silver pieces. Okay, the sword is glowing. I told you that. Okay, so you're in this room. It's pretty dark. I mean, your sword is lighting up the general area around you, but now that you've walked in this far, your eyes are adjusting slightly to it. You can see, if you were to continue the direction that you're going, which is basically south, you see that it opens up into like a hall or something, but you can't really see very far because it's dark. You're not able to. At this point, it's probably, just so you know, it's probably like dusk-ish outside, so it's not night yet, but it's certainly getting closer to it, and the sun is blocked by the fortress, so it's definitely dark in here.
Yep, Bob will light up one of those torches then. He doesn't carry a shield, he just has his long sword out, but he'll light up a torch then and carry.
Okay, yeah, so you can light up a torch, which of course sheds light a lot more than that sword does. And you see that down, like I said, down to the south, there is in fact a hallway. It looks like from where you're standing, the torch sheds light down, whatever, 30 feet. It's longer than the torch light, but you can see that, kind of in the edges of the torch light, maybe about 50 feet or so in, you see it opens up into a room. But
yeah, Bill he's holding the glowing short sword out in front of him, like he thinks that's going to illuminate things more, but he holds it out in front of him and starts proceeding very slowly, stealthily sneaky down that way.
Okay, yeah. There's definitely not so many bodies in here. You walk past a couple of more. Again, all in the same kind of state that you're in, but state that they're in, I should say. But for the most part, you can easily avoid them here, and you're being quiet as you can. Let's see. So as you step into this room, okay. So go ahead and make a DC 15. You don't have like a move silent ability, right?
Yeah, well, he has stealth is for sneak and hide in shadows.
Oh, okay. So you do have that. So you can make it with a D20, but Bob, who doesn't have it as a skill, needs to make it with a D10, and it's a DC 15.
Yep, and Bill has a +7 at this level. It said so.
Nice.
Oh, he'll need it because he rolled a 3, so 3 + 7 will be 10. And
Okay.
let's see what Bob. You said a D10 for him.
Yeah, he has to roll a D10 because it's unskilled.
Does he have anything modifier?
You can use your agility. Yeah, you can use your agility.
Because I think he's got it. Oh no, he don't have it. I thought he had it. He don't.
I'm sorry, Tony.
Oh wow.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
what?
Unless his background gives him something that you think would give him the skill to move sound.
No, his background is a healer, so.
Okay, no.
He rolled a 9. He got close.
Oh, so 9. That's okay, but you're definitely both, not as stealthy as you'd like to be. It's probably more that the people that are on the ground are starting to moan and move as you're walking. So you're moving pretty quietly, but they're making noise. So as you plus you have a torch. As you come into this next room, which is you kind of step in immediately to your left. You see there's actually a hole, like a breach in the fortress wall, which is mostly covered with vines. So there's like a little bit of light kind of shining in, plus your torch, and you see, somewhere around like 2 to 3 dozen more bodies in here. Like this room is littered, and you see 2 creatures. They are they're kind of like man shaped, like they're humanoid, but they're kind of like slightly taller than you would imagine. Maybe they're like 6.5 feet or something. They're bulky and powerful looking, but they're stooped. So like they're, with the amount of stooping they're doing, they're probably only standing about 5.5 feet tall. And their heads are kind of human sized. So it's a little small for the body, but 90% of the head is made up of just a really, really large mouth full of multiple rows of teeth. You don't see any like face on them really. You just see these like this mouth with the teeth looking at you. And let me just see if they're surprised, because there's still a chance they're surprised even though you didn't stealth. Let's see. Who's 1d6? Okay, they're not. So they turn, and you see them, and they're kind of like, and you can tell as they look at you that they seem like they're about to step forward in probably a act of violence, we'll say. So we should roll initiative. If you want, you can roll initiative separate. I know whatever's easier for you. Do you want to do both on the same initiative?
Yeah, because the halfling only gets a D16 for initiative, so.
Oh, okay. Do you want to roll them separately? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll roll them separately.
Yeah, because I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah, this is only.
Bob will have a 16 for initiative because he gets a +2, and Bill the halfling is going to. He'll have a 13.
Oh, nice. And that's with your agility too?
Yep.
Cool. All right, so then it's going to be Bob and then Bill and then the creatures because they only got a 10. So what would you like to do? They're standing maybe 20 feet away from you.
Yeah, Bob's probably 10 feet behind Bill as they progressed up here, and Bill turns around and looks at Bob and says, "Well, I think we're going to need you first." And when Bob moves up there and sees them, he is going to start going to the closest one.
Okay.
And let's see, it'll be a D20 plus a D4 for my D die to hit. And he's got a long sword, a D8.
Do you want to do any mighty deed or?
No, at this point he doesn't, because he's thinking that when he sees these creatures, Bob thinks, oh, there's nothing to these things.
Okay.
He thinks at this point they're going to be easy. And let's see. I don't think he gets any. Let's see. It'll be a 12, 13 to hit.
Yeah, your sort of hits, but doesn't take home. So basically you miss by one. So
All
you hit him, but it kind of steps back and kind of deflects the blow. Okay, what about Bill?
Yeah, it seemed that, because Bill's confident that Bob can take care of this, and it seemed them repel his attack. Bill's going to he wants to try to, if there's any way to stay sneaky and hide up behind one of them.
Yeah, you could do that. Go ahead and see if you can. Yeah, do a sneak again. A DC 15 sneak.
Oh, let's see. That'd be 16 total.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, and if he can sneak up behind one of them, he's going to try to stab one of them in the yolks.
Yeah, for sure.
He's going to use that glowing sword first.
Okay, yeah, and you can have a +4 to hit, because you're getting them from completely by surprise at this point.
All right, let's see. Oh wow, he rolled a 15 plus 4 is 19 plus a 2 is or plus 1, so modified 20, and he'll do 5 damage with the first hit.
Nice. That first hit slices through the creature, and it staggers and falls dead.
Oh wow. Yeah, well he'll try to use his regular short sword to attack the other one then. Oh, that's another good one. That's going to be like for 14. He probably won't get the bonus from you though, will he?
From sneaking up on it?
Yeah, will he?
No, because you will have already made noise at that point, yeah.
Yeah, so 14 plus 1 is 15. 15 to hit, but only 1 damage with that one.
Okay, yeah. So you strike at this one, and then you cut it. It starts to turn when it hears its partner, fall. So it turns towards you and kind of takes a step to the side so that your blade just barely hits it. And it does cut it though, and you do see some blood, but it doesn't fell it. So it's going to make an attack at you. I'm going to do this. I'll make if this rolls 2 d20s at once. So if the d20 is even, I'm going to have it go after Bill, and if it's odd, it'll go after the second one.
All right.
So, well, it's odd, but it rolled a natural 1, so it fumbled.
Oh wow!
Yay! You're doing good so far. All right, so let me get my thing out. Luckily, I have my sheets ready. Let's see monster fumbles. Let's see table contents. Nope, that's not it. Thumbnails. All right, so I gotta find my fumbles. Let's see, monster. I know I just saw fumbles. This is that thing that you turned me on to with the quick sheets.
Oh yeah, the guy that made those quick sheets.
Yeah, it's on page 19. I didn't print it yet though, so I'm using the PDF. 19. All right, so these things are basically naked, so they're just going to roll a regular d4 because I don't have any kind of. Oh, actually, d4 is already rolled. 3. Your weapon comes loose in your hand. You quickly grab it, but your grip is disrupted. You take a minus. Okay, so it's going to be -2 on its next attack, assuming it lives another round, because it's on to Bob.
Yeah, Bob. It seemed that Bill, doesn't damage it, as good as he can. He just says, "Get out of the way, little one. I can finish him off." And so he runs towards him, and 14 plus 4, so 18 to hit. And and you get to add that to damage. So wow, 9 points of damage.
Yeah. So so you obliterate this thing, Maybe it turned towards the. Well, actually, it came at you, and you run it through with your longsword, and it falls dead to the ground. And after a few seconds, you stop hearing that panting sound that they're making, and all is quiet again, except for the flickering of your torch. In the room.
Yeah, and Bill just says, hey, this is going to probably be easier than we thought it would be. It looks like he's pretty confident.
Yeah, so far. So you're standing more or less in the middle of the room now. You can see again. This is about a 80 or so foot. So the torch is shedding light about 30 feet or so in the middle, but you can kind of see the whole room a little bit. And you can see that on the you've got. So if you look at that map, you're in that the hallway goes down. You're in that middle room. You've got basically a door to each of those other rooms that you can see on the map. So there's basically 4 doors there. There's one that would be. I wish I could. Actually, I'm gonna do. Let me see if I can do it this way. I'm gonna screen share. Let's see if that works. That way I can point to it. I feel so like I get like. Oh, let me see. Screen share. Application window. Oh, I can do that. Yep. All right. I'm just screen sharing the minicam window. Okay, so you're here now. So there's a door like right here. There's one here, and one here.
Yeah, Bill will go to that very top one. What I would say is top there. That one.
Okay. All right, so that one. Okay. I turned the map sideways so it would fit on the screen. So like when I'm looking at the other map, I'm like, let's see. So that is a. Okay, so you go up to this door, and it's a heavy wooden door. The handle, it looks like it's melted. So there's almost like there's a. Well, yeah, I'm getting the flicker. I'll stop sharing the screen so we don't. So basically, you've got. So what we'll do, just because now that you know that's that room, we'll call that 1, and then we'll just go 2. We'll go clockwise. So 2, 3, 4. Right. That way we know which rooms are which. We want to go to the other ones. So you come up to the door. It's a heavy wooden door, as noted. The handle is like melted off, so you can see like the stub of where there was a handle on it, but it's melted now. And if you just push on the door, it doesn't open because the lock is locked and the handle can't be turned.
Yeah, Bill will turn to Bob and then ask Bob to try to shove his shoulder into it and push it open then.
Okay, so make a DC 15 strength check. So just D20 plus your strength mod. Try to get 15 or better. Not good.
Ooh, no, he only had a 3. I'm not gonna burn any luck for that.
Yeah, I mean you can just try it again if you want. It was loud, of course. But you can, yeah, I mean, you can certainly try again.
Oh, that's better. 16.
Okay, yeah. So you shoulder through the door, and it flies open, and you see the room in front of you. There's a large statue in the back of the room, 15 feet tall. And as soon as you see it, you must make a will save, DC 12 will save.
That'll be for Bob, okay?
Yeah.
13 plus 1, so 14.
Okay. So yeah, you make it. So you see the thing, and it is frightening looking. It's indescribable. So I will not try to describe it.
Yeah. Yeah, he just he probably lets a gasp out, which frightens Bill. So when Bill enters in there and looks at it, does he need to make a save too?
Yep, he needs to make it as well.
A will save. Wow, yep. He gets a +3 for that.
Well, that's good.
I don't know why, but that's what it says. Oh wow, he's going to fail with it though. He'll have a 12 total.
Oh no. Okay, so did you want to burn luck?
Yeah, I'd only need to burn 3 points. So yeah, he'll burn 3 points of luck.
Yeah. And you're a halfling, right? So if you're burning it for yourself, you'd only have to burn 2.
I guess round up, so 2, burn 2 points.
Yeah. Okay, that's good, because otherwise you would have started to run for 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have really sucked. Okay. You see a man, or what you think was a man at some point. He's got like vestments across his body, um, like a priest would wear, but his skin is melting. It looks like almost like he's a candle that's like constantly melting down. So you just see the skin just pouring off of him as he's standing before the statue. It looked like he was praying. And when you smash the door, he turns towards you, and let's see. He go ahead and roll initiative before I show you this.
All right.
Yeah. So he's actually
Bob will have an 11.
He's got +5.
And Bill will have a 12.
Okay, so it's going to go the creature and then Bill and then Bob, right?
Yep.
Because he got a 70. Okay, so he opens his mouth and spits, for lack of a better word, a vomit of what appears to be molten skin at you. So basically, he spits out a breath weapon of melty skin. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. So it is a breath weapon. Oh, geez. Oh, hold on. Oh, make a reflex save.
Both of them? Okay.
Yeah, because it's a cone.
Ooh, Bill will have a modified 20.
That's good.
And Bob, oh no, Bob's only going to have a 6.
Oh no. Okay. All right. So if you, I'm realizing this is probably very dangerous. I'm going to do it this way instead, because I'm realizing that this is written for Swords and Wizardry that you take. Well, whatever it is, what it is. Let's see if you die.
Yeah. Well, Bob's got a lot of HP, man. He's got a.
Okay, good. That's good, because if you fail, you take 31 points of damage.
Well, he will be dead because he had 30 HP.
Yeah, and if you fail, you take half.
So 15.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that'd get Bill too because he's only got 12.
Yeah. So you both drop.
Wow.
Holy guacamole! Wow, that. Okay, well, there you go. That's how it is.
Yeah, I can just.
Hold on though. But you can hold on though. You can burn luck to not die. I mean, you can burn it to pass your save. Oh no, you passed the save.
Bill did. The halfling passed his save, but Bob, God, he would have to burn. Yeah, he scored like real low. He'd have to burn. I don't think he'd have enough luck.
All right.
Bill did. He passed his.
Oh, okay. He died anyways. Okay, so the final thing here is the rolling of the body. It's because you might not be dead. Usually after combat this happens, but since combat's over because you just died. So he would read this breath weapon on you, then he just turns back around and starts praying again. So sometime later, you need to make a luck check. So a d20 equal to or under your luck.
All right, I'll do Bill first. Oh wow, he rolled right on 11. So yep.
All right.
And Bob has got a 12 luck. Let's see what he does. Oh wow, he rolled a 16.
Okay, so Bob's dead.
All right.
But Bill wakes up with 1 hit point. You're laying on the ground, and your body is burnt, and you're in pain. You're definitely scarred. There'll be some permanent injury. Since you kind of resemble the dude that was melted in the other room, except you somehow miraculously are alive. And you kind of like shake your head and take a breath, and you look up and you see that priest is still there, the priest thing, and he seems to just be looking at the statue and praying.
Yeah, Bill will look. He just takes a quick glance around the room to get his surroundings, but he looks to make sure he doesn't see. He knows that they're coming after this ancient sword. He just makes sure he doesn't see a sword placed anywhere real quick.
You no, you don't see a sword.
He is going to try to sneak out of the room then and sneak back out into the main room.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. He's not paying attention to you right now because he thinks you're dead.
You know,
So
he'll secure the door back the best he can, knowing it's shattered. But
okay. Yeah, you can do that. You can pull the door back a bit. Go ahead and roll a stealth for that though. Just a DC 10.
out of 12 total.
Okay. Yes, you're able to pull the door back. You know, you don't think he heard you or anything. He didn't move. He's still praying. From what you can tell. He's just bent over in front of that statue. Go ahead and roll a. I guess it would be. Roll an intelligence. Try to roll under your intelligence on a d20.
Oh wow, he has horrible intelligence, Bill.
Oh boy.
Yep, he failed 9 out of 6.
Okay. Yeah. So you got to. Actually, I'll just give this to you because you have those fortune points that we forgot about already.
All right.
You'll use 2 points for it. You did notice on the statue when you were looking around for the sword, you didn't see a sword, but you did notice that the statue itself seemed to have a compartment underneath that had like a brass fitting, almost like a keyhole, but it wasn't really a keyhole. It was like 2 circles.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's the only thing you noticed in it that was strange.
Yeah, he's going to proceed down to that next door then, or I guess door number 2, the one the room just south of it, and and try to listen in before he tries to go into that door.
Okay. So this door you go up to and you can actually see that it's like leaning back into place, but it was smashed in and somebody like stood it back up basically. So you can you notice there's scorch marks on the wood as you inspect it, and if you kind of like listen closely and maybe even peek through the cracks a little bit, you see that there are 7 you see 7 what are these 7 doors? Scorch marks are 7. Okay, you see 4 bodies on the floor that are again emaciated. They're not wearing anything because you would imagine that the clothes would have rotted off. They're men with shaved heads. 3 of them. You see 3 more bodies next to them though that are actually skeletons, like actual skeletons.
But none of them's moving.
No, they're not moving. And then you also see in the corner 4 kind of again human-looking things, but they're much smaller than the first ones that you saw. These ones are only about 5 feet tall, and you can hear like a vibrating sound coming from them. And as you kind of like look at them and blink your eyes, they seem to be like almost blurry to you, almost kind of it's almost making you a little bit sick looking at them. But they don't seem to notice you. They're just like looking. They're in the corner.
But they kind of look like the first 2 that we had to fight, just maybe smaller.
Similar in the sense that they're kind of like bulky creatures, but we don't see their faces, so you don't know about the teeth. And these are much smaller.
Yeah, if Bill doesn't see any sign of any sword that's just visibly laid out somewhere, he'll sneak down further down and go to room number 3 then and try to figure it there.
Makes sense. Okay, this one. This one is unlocked, and you can open it. So you crack it open, you look in. You see there are cots against the wall. So 4 cots. You see a table, stool, chest. It looks like it's some kind of a sleeping quarters. There's tapestries on the wall, rugs on the floor. It actually looks pretty nice and pretty ancient. You do see that looks like there was probably like a fireplace in the southern wall, which is basically the corner, the little corner that's heading away. But it looks like it's been bricked up.
Yeah, if he doesn't see any thing moving in there, he'll go into the room then, and he's going to go up to that old fireplace and start searching and looking around it to see if maybe there's any hollow spots.
Yeah, actually, as you're kind of moving through, you can see that like the bricks had been removed and then replaced. It looks like in an area, and as you pull them out, you see that there's actually like a hollow in there that looks like it could, a human could definitely fit in there, but they wouldn't be super comfortable. And you see that there's like some little like small like little alcoves carved into the wall, like almost like shelves in there. And on two of them, you see that there are items. One has a candlestick holder with with a candle in it, and some candles laying next to it. And the other one has a kind of an earthenware bottle. And you also notice that, as you're kind of looking in there, that there's basically like a very small tunnel. Like for you, you could walk through it because you're a halfling, but like for a human, they'd have to like crawl. That seems to be going further south.
Yeah, he'll climb in there then and inspect the candlestick holder and the earthen pot first.
Okay. The candlestick holder is, at first it looks like nothing, but you're kind of looking at it. It looks like it's actually tarnished silver. So it's got, maybe like a 50 gold piece or so value. So it's, if you were to take it. And of course, there's candles if you want to use it for light. The little jar seems to have a liquid inside. It's sloshing around. And if you were to remove the cork and smell it, it smells kind of sweet.
Yeah, he'll cork it back, and make sure it's secure, and take the candlestick holder in that and put it in his little backpack and continue on down that passage.
Okay. Yeah. So for you, you're just kind of like slouching, and you're able to kind of move through the passage, and it doesn't go very far, maybe like another like 40 feet, and it opens out in off the cliff, and you see below you the waters, and you do see actually that there is kind of a steel or iron, but now rotted away, I should say, kind of pipe that's been like kind of probably was initially like driven into the ground here. And you can imagine just by inspecting it, there was rope wrapped around it. So possibly there was a ladder here at some point, but it has long since rotted away.
Yeah, he'll go back to the main room then, and you said there was like a chest there. He would go and try to look at it and try to He'll take. Of course, he uses that glowing sword first, the blue glow sword, and try to pry it open with that.
Sure. Yeah, when you open up the chest, it is basically you could smell kind of the smell of rot, and it looks like there was probably some clothing and stuff in here, but nothing really of value. I just sort around like a handful of coins, maybe like 10 or 12 silver pieces, but nothing huge.
Yeah, if he don't see anything else in the room that would be of any value, and doesn't find the sword that's been described to him, he'll go back into the main room and just kind of observe for a minute to make sure you don't hear anything, and then he'll go to that last room.
Yeah, so if you go into the main room, nothing has changed in here. It looks the same. And the last room, this door is locked or I should say the door has like heavy banded construction, so it's a strong, extra strong door, and it is locked.
Oh, Bob, where are you when I need you? And he doesn't have any kind of lock picks or anything, of course. So he'll try to take that sword, and try to work on the lock and see if he can jimmy it anyhow or open it.
Okay, yeah. Make a check against your luck. Make a luck check. See if you can kind of work the lock out.
Nope, 14.
Yeah, no. As you're kind of working it, like the sword's just too big and like the lock is too intricate. It just doesn't really seem to.
He's going to. I guess it was like just search along the walls to see if there's any other way to gain entry into that room. Maybe there's some little, because he's found that one passage, so he thinks maybe there may be another one since this room is still secured. If there's any other way to get in that room.
Okay, yeah. So you can look around. I guess roll a d6 for me.
A 3.
Yeah, you don't find anything else. This room looks very secure. Whatever, like you would look for any kind of like cracks in the mortar, or if there's any loose bricks, or I mean, it's like probably this corner of the building is probably the most well built thing you've seen, in a long time. It's like very, very well sealed.
Yeah, let's see here. Um, he doesn't have anything else he could really use to try to. And this is a single story keep or whatever. It's not a second story.
Yeah, it's single story.
Yeah, he don't want to go back and face those creatures by himself, being hurt. So he can't get entry into that room. Um, wow. Does he hear anything in the room though? Like if he listens at the door for a little bit, like does he hear anything in there moving or?
Um, so not really, but like you go really near the keyhole, which is probably where you're thinking you're going to hear the best because there's a hole there clearly. And you realize after putting your ear against the door for like a couple of minutes that you're actually starting to feel a little bit sick, and you realize that there's kind of a very, very nasty smell coming from that room.
Yeah, he'll knowing that, then he'll just back away from it, and he's going to go back to the room that had the 4 creatures in it, up to that room, and look through again to
Yeah.
see what they're doing.
Okay, so when you go into that room, or look into that room, I should say, you notice that they are pretty much doing the exact same thing. The skeletons are still on the ground; they haven't moved, nor have the bodies. But the vibrating creatures are just kind of still in the corner.
In the deal that you described that had the brass deal, or whatever, was it like closer to them, or is it more in the middle of the room, or?
That's in the room with the fire breathing guy, or the acid breathing guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had my room mixed up.
It's basically at the bottom of the statue. The statue's on like a little pedestal, and it's basically at this point with the priest praying. It's basically on the other side of the priest. So he's basically looking at it or whatever.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill. Then I don't know. There's not much else Bill can do, I guess. He doesn't have anybody to help him now. And he knows there's no way he can sneak up to that deal with the priest fellow is standing right on top of it. He's going to go into the room with the 4 creatures. Like just step in the room and see if they react any. Like not really walk into it, but like just step into the doorway of it.
Okay.
And see like if they turn and look at them or do anything or come towards them. Or
so if you just step into the room, they don't move at all. They don't even seem to notice you at all. You're probably like maybe like the room's decently sized. It's probably like maybe 25, 30 feet wide by about 40 feet long. They're in the back corner. So I mean, you're moving in pretty quietly. You don't really have to open the door because there's like holes in it. Yeah, they don't seem to notice you at all.
All right. Can he use any like fortune left of those fortune points to, even though the sidekick's not with us, but use any fortune to maybe recall anything that guild would have told him about where the sword may be?
I mean, you would remember or know that the weapon is like a holy artifact of Kusuth, and that you think, although nobody could describe it because it's indescribable, the statue that you saw, is in fact a representation of the beast. So it's likely that's probably the temple, basically,
All right.
where the priest is.
He's going to go back to that room then and open the door and look in. And what he wants to do is try to sneak up to Bob's body because he didn't get Bob's backpack or nothing when he left. So he's going to try to sneak up to Bob's body and grab the tinderbox and one of those torches.
Okay, roll for that you'll need a DC 10 stealth.
All right, I got it. That'll be 15.
Okay, yeah, you're able to get up there, and yeah, I mean, the because the melty, waxy, acidy stuff hit Bob square in the face. Basically, his back is totally like fine. It's like the whole front of him is melted to the floor, but his backpack and stuff is fine. So you're able to get the torch and the tinderbox or whatever else you need out of the backpack pretty easily.
Is the floor like covered in this gluey, nasty stuff too, or not?
Just in the area around Bob and like kind of a little bit in front. Like it like spit it at you all. But you kind of were, the door to the room is in that corner, so like that kind of that's the side of that wall and like that stuff is a little bit gooey. But you could certainly circle around the other part of the room. Like so, in other words, it's not the whole floor. You can walk in the room.
What he's going to try to do is he's going to light the torch and see if that stuff is flammable. See if it will light up.
Okay, so do you want to like light the torch up in the other room and then step in with it?
Yeah, like he'll go back to that main room, and light the torch up, and then go back into that room and walk in front of where Bob is, put the torch on the ground, and see if it flames up any of that stuff.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So you do that. I mean, you're able to light the torch up, no problem. And when you step in the room and kind of the, clearly you're now have lights and drawing attention to yourself. You put the torch down to the goop. It does not light on fire. I mean, it doesn't put the fire out, but it doesn't light up. But the creature turns, and it opens its mouth in a silent kind of scream. It does not, however. Well, actually, roll initiative.
All right.
Oh, I think it's 16.
Let's see. That'll be 11.
Okay, so it goes first. So it opens its mouth in like a silent scream, and kind of like you think that it's trying to expel more of the goop at you, but nothing comes out. It just kind of, and then it starts kind of walking slowly towards you.
Yeah, Bill was going to let it get approach close to him, and then when it gets closer to him, to put some space between him and the that artifact deal, and then he's just going to take off running towards that artifact and try to have a moment to do something with it before the creature realizes what's happened.
Okay. So you're going to try to evade him, basically?
Yep, try to evade and run past them, and hopefully see if there's anything he can see real quick or touch to activate something.
Cool. I'm reading the wrong one. That's right. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, why is this? There it is. Okay, so you, because I'm like, hold on, it's saying there's other things in this room, so I was reading the wrong one. Okay, so you, it starts to walk towards you. So you like wait, basically. You hold you move until it gets closer to you, and you dart to the side. It's not particularly slow, but let's roll initiative again to see who moves this round. It doesn't get you 6 for it.
No, I had a 5.
Do you want to go first? You burn luck.
And what did he get?
6.
Oh, so yeah, I'll burn 2 points, so 1 or to
Yeah,
get
so
me,
one
to
was
get me
given
1
to-
above him.
Okay, yeah, so you can go first. So it starts to move towards you towards the door, but you're quicker than it is, and you head to. You notice too that kind of attached to the vestments is a kind of a strange looking key with 2 points on it.
That it's wearing. Okay.
It's wearing it, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna what I tell you what this is what Bill wants to do is he runs past him. He's gonna throw that torch on it and continue to run towards the statue.
Okay, yeah, make a missile attack.
see, +1, so 16.
Okay, yeah, that hits. So you hit him. I guess roll a d4 for damage.
A 2.
Okay. It did part of him. Actually, roll a luck check.
Yep, 5 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, the vestment actually starts to light up on fire. So his vestment's on fire, and you can see he's burning, and he looks like he's melting, but he was melting before, so it's hard to really say.
Right.
Yeah, and you can make it. I guess your movement is probably not enough to get it all the way to the end of the room as a halfling, but you can get probably close to the statue this round, and then he's going to be able to go again. He starts to move toward you. I think he's faster than you are. He moves like a person. Your movement is slower, right? Because you're a halfling, or is that not true?
It will be slower. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So he's going to be able to reach up to you. So he actually gets close to you, and he's going to swing at you. 10 plus 3, 13.
Yep, that's my AC, 13.
All right. And he does a d6. 4 points. That's going to take you out, right?
Yep, that'll take me down to -3.
Yeah. So he swipes across you, and you fall. On the ground in the room.
All right.
And it all goes dark.
Ah.
I guess you get another chance to see if you're still alive. Doesn't say you don't. So go ahead and I guess, time goes by. Roll another luck check.
Oh, wow. 8 out of 10.
Okay. So now you wake up. You're kind of in the middle of the room. You see this priest thing. It's still in front of the statue. Although now it doesn't have the vestment on anymore. It seems that the fire's gone out as well. It's a bit dark in there, but your eyes are adjusting to it, and you can see that it's doing the same thing. It's just in front of the thing praying, but now it doesn't have the vestment on anymore.
Yeah, Bill is going to try to sneak up to this thing, and what he wants to do is try to sneak up to behind it, and he's going to try. It's normal human size, you said.
Yeah, it's like a man basically.
Yeah, he wants to try to trip it up, where he's going to trip it and let it fall. You'll fall on its butt and its back and fall backwards, and hopefully get to that statue before it gets back up. But he wants to try to do it, sneak up on it stealthily.
So you want to knock it prone?
Yep, and try to knock the thing prone, trip him up.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the stealth first.
Ooh, that's probably 13.
All right, yeah, so you make it. All right, so you're going to have to, if you want to knock him over, you're going to have to make an attack against him. And let's say if you do, what do you roll for damage? D6?
Yeah, short sword's D6. So.
All right, so if you roll a 5 or a 6, also you can knock him over. After you make the attack.
Oh no, I rolled a 4 plus 2, so attack's like 7 total, 6 total.
No, it doesn't hit.
Yep.
So you swing at him wildly.
Huh.
And he turns around.
Huh.
Oh no, he misses you though. He misses you with a 3. So now let's we'll go into combat. So roll initiative. 11 for him.
Out of 14.
Oh, you go first. All right. So you can see. I mean, you're basically standing like to your left. Basically, is this statue with the strange clearly keyhole or whatever. And to your right is this creature.
Also, I do see like a keyhole that.
Well, it's basically like a keyhole, but it has like a double pointed. It looks like the key that was on his vestment that is no longer there anymore. Yeah, I mean, basically, the vestment lit on fire and the key fell on the ground. I'll give you that for a point. So the key's like on the ground behind him. You kind of look to the left. You see the statue with the keyhole. You look to the right. You see the creature, and you look just past the creature. You see the key.
Yeah, Bill's going to try to run and grab the key and then run back out into the main room first.
Okay. Yeah, there's no attacks of opportunity, so you can definitely do that. But I will have you roll luck though to see if you can get to stop it at the key.
6 out of 10.
Okay, yeah. So you quickly move past him, and snag the key up and like leap over the goop that's on the ground, and you're back out in the main room again.
He has to make sure that it doesn't follow him.
It is actually following you now.
Oh, it is? Okay. Well, what
Yeah.
he's going, this is his plan. Hopefully, he wants to, he's going to stop and let it get closer to him. Not get close enough to spit her on him. So then he's going to take off running again and try to keep a deal. And he's going to try to put it, open the door to the third room, and hopefully get it trapped in that third room down there. Like they had this old fireplace.
Right. Okay. Wait, it's slightly faster than you. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
you won't want to wait, but if you run to the third room, it does actually follow you.
Yeah, and he's going to try to hopefully run in that room, and when it comes in there, to dart back past it and close the door on it.
Okay. Why not, right? All right, yeah. So you get in there and maybe near the fireplace, and you're like waiting for it, and it comes. Even though it's fast, it doesn't seem to be like in a rush. Like it's following you, but it doesn't like run after you. So also you have like a few seconds to stabilize yourself once you get in there, and you see it come through the door. Again, it has this. It keeps opening its mouth like it's going to try to spit the stuff at you, but it just doesn't seem to be able to. And so you want to try that. So I guess that seems like a luck check. So if you make a luck check, I'll let you get past it without getting an attack on you.
Oh wow, rolled a 2. So wow.
Nice. Yeah, so your halfling luck is kicking in, and you actually run past it and slam the door closed.
All right.
Yeah, I mean this door is not. You don't have a way to lock it, but you close the door.
Yep,
so
I shut the door because I'm hoping and thinking that maybe it doesn't have enough intelligence to figure out how to open it. Is what he's thinking.
Yeah. Well, this is another good opportunity for a luck check.
Yeah. I got 5. Man,
All right.
It's on fire.
You're now the low rolls are helping you. So it gets to the door, and it doesn't seem to like the door is a pull door, but it's pushing, like it can't quite figure it out. And it's momentarily we'll say roll a d4.
A 3.
Okay, so for 3 rounds it's going to be kind of doing that. So you got 3 rounds to move.
Yeah, he's going to run. Bill's going to take off fast as he can back down to that statue and see if he can get that key in it.
Yeah, if you run full tilt, it'll take you, let's see, that's 40, because your movement's 25, right? So you can do double move instead of attacking, so that'd be 1 round, 2 rounds. It'll take you 2 rounds to get there. So in the 3rd round, you can stick that key into the front of the statue and open it. And when you do, it actually, you stick the key in. It's basically like these 2 points. So you stick the key in, and when you do the like a drawer slides open, and in it is a sword.
Yeah, he'll grab it and then hopefully start back that way, knowing it. But he'll grab it and take off.
Yeah, it's a one-handed bronze sword. So you must make. Yeah, you got to make a saving throw. Let's say a fortitude save.
42, okay.
Yep.
Oh no, them low rolls are going to hurt me now. 6.
Do you have enough luck?
I got 10 luck left.
Yeah. Well, if you don't, you're going to want to do that, or this will be the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, if I did, so.
Yeah.
I mean, but I get 2 for 1. So how much would I have to burn to get what I need?
Yes, it's a 15.
So I need 9 points. That would be 5. I'd have to
5.
burn 5. Yeah, I'll burn 5. What the heck? Because that dropped me down to 5.
Well, otherwise you're going to be dead. Because basically, if you don't make the save, it does 1d6 damage to you per round until you make the save. So yeah, the first round will kill you. So.
Yep, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll burn that luck to do that.
Yes, you grab the sword and turn around, and as you do, I guess you're heading back out of the temple.
Yeah, he's trying to get out of there as fast as he can now.
So you can move 25. So the creature's there. Okay, so just as you come out of this room, you see the creature coming out of the other room.
Yeah, he's headed for the front door as fast as he can.
Okay. So you can move that. It can move that. So it's actually faster than you, but you can. Hold on 1 second. This is it, right? This is where the decision is made. Roll, make a luck check.
Oh no! Now I need a real low one.
Yeah.
Nope, 16 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah. So you run outside, and as you're kind of running, this thing's you can see it's catching up to you like a little bit at a time, and you start to run past the bodies and out onto the land bridge. But by the time you get that far, it's caught up to you. And let's roll initiative and see what happens. It could be the ultimate battle here.
Ooh, 16. Wow.
All right, you go first.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep booking it. Bill never looks behind him. I mean, he knows he can
Okay.
he can feel this thing on getting close, but he never looks behind him. He just keeps running.
Okay. So you run across the bridge because you went first. It's gonna run after you. It's faster than you, so it's go ahead and okay. So I'm gonna do this. The bridge is 100 feet long. You're there. All right. If you can evade it for 3 rounds, I'll let you get across the bridge.
All right.
So first round, that was 1. So roll initiative for the next round. Ooh, we got a 15.
Nat 1.
Oh God. Okay, so it's gonna go first, but I mean, it might miss you, of course. Oh my God. It crit.
Oh no. Let's see what happens.
All right, so let's do a crit chart. That's always fun. This is good. This is the end of I think of Bill. Your luck ran out in the end.
Yep. He tried his best, but
You did. It was so there's a different one for monsters, right? Let's see. Disarming, pushback. I think you probably should have been like 1 level higher.
yeah, I almost did like a 4 and a 1, but I thought, we'll do a 3 and a 2 and try it.
No, that's what I figured you would do. But I mean, this is going to be the trick is figuring this out, like where. Oh, that's weird. Do monsters just crit on regular people's tables? I thought they
had their own too. I don't remember though.
Let me get to the front.
But yeah, I'm like you. I thought they had like their own little special.
Yeah, crit table 1, 2, 3. No, I guess not. Okay, well, there's 5 crit tables, so let's do this. Roll a d5, and we'll pick a table.
Let's see what we get here. A 4.
All right, so crit table 4, and its crit die is going to be a d6. So let's get to crit table 4. It's affected by your luck too, which is now 5, right? So you have.
Yep, my luck is 5.
So you have a minus. So I have to look that up actually. So 5 ability, so it's 2. All right, so it's going to be a d6 plus 2. So let's go to the crit tables. We finally get a crit. Actually, you had a fumble and a crit. So,
I know at the end.
Did 4, right? Okay.
Yep.
Crit table 4. Here we go. Do you want to roll it?
Yeah, D6.
D6 plus 2.
That'll be a 2 plus 2, so 4 total.
4. Hammering blow drives nose cartilage into the brain, inflicting plus d12 damage. Oh man! With this strike and the foe suffers it loss. So what I'm going to say is, the creature basically comes down on you and just smacks you. It grabs you basically by the back of your head and just pulls your neck back and slams your face with its melty hand. And your face just melts off, and we're going to say you're dead at that point.
Yep, I would think so. As the sword just goes skittering down across the ground.
Yeah, and it picks up the sword and walks back. Man.
Yeah, and Bill would have left the key in the statue. He wouldn't have taken it out. So the key's there.
Yeah, exactly.
The statue.
Yeah, it was good. This is interesting. I think that if I run this one again, I'll either have to lower the amount of damage from the breath weapon or make you higher level. Because I think you're high enough level. Because if you hadn't got your butt kicked so bad with the breath weapon, you could have beat this guy.
How does Tim? What does he have with the breath weapon?
He just calls it a breath weapon, and since this is written for swords and wizardry, the breath weapon does the damage equal to their hit points. So that's what he's intending.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So and I mean, it doesn't say like if he opens with it, but you got to think he'd open with it. That's his main attack. So.
Oh yeah.
I think I played it right. I just think that either I would do. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, I think in DCC it's the same thing. The breath weapon is. I think I'll look that up next. Maybe I'll look that up and see how dragons do it. for next time if I run this one again. But that was super fun though.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's a cool way to do it. We just have to figure out a little. You got the balance is the tricky part. Although, actually, if only one of you had went into the room, it would have been fine. That's the other part too, right? It's like little decisions.
Right.
So, well, in the broadcast, that was super fun. Thanks, Tim Shorts, for running such awesome games. Thanks, Tony, for playing.
Yes.
And broadcast.